Hello! In this lecture, I will explain the concept of EtherCAT parameters and how to set them up. The information of the EtherCAT slave is defined as an ESI file, which is provided by each slave manufacturer. It is also called an XML file because the extension name is XML. The ESI file contains the EtherCAT slave information and defines the accessible properties of the network, such as synchronization support mode, protocol, process data, mapping options, etc. You must have an ESI file for the connection and operation of each slave in the EtherCAT master position control module and motion controller. Let's check where the controller loads the ESI file information. When you enter the XG5000 folder in C drive, you will find the EtherCAT XML folder, which reads the ESI file information when using motion controller products such as XMC, XGI CPU-Z, and XGF XM32E. Also, when you enter L.KOR or L.ENG in the XGPM folder, you will find the Drive Info and I/O Info folders. Drive Info stores the ESI file for the servo drive, and I/O Info stores the ESI file for EtherCAT I/O. Drive Info will provide some manufacturers' ESI files, including LS servo drives, and when using a servo drive that supports EtherCAT, you will download the ESI file from the manufacturer's website and paste it into this folder. Servo drive provides parameters called COE, that is a short name of Can Open over EtherCAT. It is defined by index, name, unit, value, and access. In this part, you can check the information and change the values. Access includes read-write and read-only. These lists are called Object Dictionary that contains information and parameters about the product. Next, let's look at PDO and SDO. PDO is a short name of Process Data Object, and this means servo parameters defined in the Object Dictionary to communicate between controller and servo drive in real time. It can be used by mapping it to the PDO list that is divided into Receive PDO and Transfer PDO. SDO is a short name of Service Data Object. SDO means the servo parameters that write and read data when a particular event is issued. In XGPM, clicking SDO parameter read or write button can be an event. And executing function block to write or read SDO parameters on PLC program can be an event. In summary, by mapping Object Dictionary called Servo Parameters to PDO, it can be accessed through real-time communication. On the other hand, data can only be accessed with certain conditions, such as XGPM and function block on PLC program. Next, we will map the servo parameter to the PDO and check it in the PLC program. Among the parameters, let's register the instantaneous maximum operation overload, which is 2604 address as a PDO and read it in real time. First, disconnect the XGPM connection. Right-click on Slave 1 and click on the Properties. By default, you see the defined PDO list and press the Edit button to proceed to edit the PDO item. There are RX PDO and TX PDO types, And since the instantaneous maximum operation overload parameter that you want to receive in real time is to send at the aspects on servo drive, choose TX PDO. Click 2604 Instantaneous Maximum Operation Overload and press the down arrow. Then, check the CPU read after registering the PDO. Check the PDO map and press OK. Next, connect XG-PM again. Disconnect the EtherCAT connection. Check the EtherCAT parameter and write. At this time, if EtherCAT communication is enabled, the EtherCAT parameter is not written normally, so disconnect the EtherCAT connection first and proceed. Connect XG-PM again and connect EtherCAT. Next, write a program on the XG5000. This is to read 2604 Instantaneous Maximum Operation Overload from the Position Control Module during PDO communication to the CPU. In this example, since it is XGK CPU, I write the program by using the getM command. The hexadecimal 04E1 address is an object 1 data of the number 1 axis by referring to the manual. If you check more than 2 CPU read, there are read to objects 1 and 2 in the mapped order. If you turn on the M800 and check the D800, you can see that the value is coming up. 2 means that the instantaneous maximum operation overload is 0.2%. You can see that D800 value changes when you move the motor with the servo on status. Finally, let's see an example of writing SDO parameters. As mentioned previously, when you click SDO parameter write, they are written to servo drives. Next, it is the way to write it with programming. It uses the XSVPWR command with XGK. Among the servo parameters, let's change speed during search for switch, which is sub-index 01 of index 6099. Put a value of 500,000 and make M801 on. Returning to XG-PM, click SDO parameter read to check if the value has changed. You can see that speed during search for switch has changed to 500,000. This is the end of the lecture on the EtherCAT servo parameter. Thank you.